Hello, y'all, and welcome back to another adventure time with the Texas Mom. I'm Sonia, the Texas Mom, and with me as always are my Texas Tornadoes, Carter and Logan. And for today's adventure, we are actually off to visit my sister and her fiance, and they live in the Houston area. So we're heading out to Galveston Island State Park today. It's approximately 4 hours east of San Antonio. Please say a prayer for me on the car trip with these two. One thing you need to know ahead of time about Galveston Island State Park is that there is no beach access. So if you're wanting a beach day with the kids, you won't find that here. The water access in the park is the bay and some environmentally protected wetland areas. If you have a kayak or a paddleboard, I would totally bring it. There were several paddling trails to choose from. I must admit, when I saw this sign, it did freak me out a little bit, and it was always in the back of my mind as we were fishing and walking the nature trails. It looked like the perfect environment to find those kinds of creatures in, so I would just be extra cautious and keep an eye on your children. We never saw any, and neither had any of the people we talked to, so it didn't seem to be a crazy problem. There was a porta potty available if you needed to use the restroom while you were at the park. There were several areas that were great for fishing, but I know that we had the best spot that day. We had a one-of-a-kind spot that was snagged, thankfully, by the soon-to-be Texas uncle. He knew exactly where to go and grabbed it as soon as the park opened. It turns out that Galveston Island State Park is a great park for fishing. Every single person that was in our party ended up catching a fish or multiple fish that day. All right, we are back, and it is the Texas Mom here, and I am at Galveston Island State Park. There is no beach access here. It is strictly bay, so we are doing some fishing, and everybody's been pretty successful so far. So having a great day.
My favorite part about Galveston Island is that I got to go fishing.
All right, Carter got his first fish! Most of the fish we were catching are called hardheads. They are a species of catfish. They have spines in their fins that actually have some kind of a poison and can be really painful to touch. So if you don't know that ahead of time, I think that's really important to know so your children don't accidentally get hurt by the fish. Thankfully, my sister and her fiance are experienced fishermen, so they were prepared with pliers and were able to quickly get the fish off the hook. The Texas Mom is very thankful they knew this information because she did not and probably would have gotten poked by the spines herself. There are also stingrays present in the water, so you need to be careful when walking through the bay. We recommend shuffling your feet along the bottom. That way you do not stomp on them. Okay, friends, it is adventure time with the Texas Mom here, and I just caught my first kind of big fish. So excited. Everything else has been pretty small. I'm gonna throw him back. It's called a croaker because he makes a croaking sound like a frog. Let me see if I'll do it. Did you hear that? He croaked. This was my prize catch for the day. We did let him back in the water, but there were many screams involved while we were reeling him in. Right back out there. What kind of fish did you catch today?
Catfish. They were like that small.
What were they eating? What'd you put on the hook? Shrimp. After everyone was done fishing, we decided to pack things up and head out on the nature trails. The scenery was absolutely breathtaking. I loved walking through this wetland habitat. We saw lots of animals along the way, including a friendly little bunny. Just walk. We loved walking out to the bird observatory and getting to check things out from a higher level. The trails we were walking definitely involved water at some point. There were wooden planks that connected pieces of land together, but I would definitely bring some kind of shoe that you can either slip off easily or that are meant for water to get you through those portions of the trails. Again, though, as we were walking this part of the park, I could not help but think about that sign I saw earlier in the trip and kept looking around, making sure an alligator wasn't ready to jump out and grab me by the leg.
My favorite part about Galveston Island State Park was the giant bird statue because it was taller than me and all of the other birds in the world.
So we just finished up a great day at Galveston Island State Park. A good time was had by all. We caught lots of fish. We walked some nature trails and really got to enjoy our day down by the shore. So we look forward to having you on our next adventure. And don't forget, don't mess with Texas. See you next time. The park had a fish cleaning station available, but we opted to take our catches home. The kids got a nice science lesson from the soon-to-be Texas uncle.